Okay, great guys. It's a pleasure to have you here again. And of course, we are here to talk about the business of Forex trading, here to educate you more. And today we're going to be talking about how to draw support and resistance using price action and also using supply and demand. Right now, look at the chart that we have right in front of us. This is the loonie, this is the dollar card, and if you look at the overall movement, you'll see that price started from here, and then now price is here, and then that means that if you join these two arrows together from here to here, you see that the flow of the market is down. Yes, the flow of the market is down. That means that this is a downtrend. This is a bearish market. And of course, the sellers are in control. The sellers are in control. So in this kind of situation, it's always best for you to follow the trend. It's always best for you to follow the flow of the market. Yes. Now, let's look at how to draw this support and resistance using the forces of supply and demand. Using the forces of supply and demand, you should know what will happen when the demand is greater than supply. Think about it. When demand is greater than supply, it doesn't mean that you have to have read econs or accounts or any of those finance topics. This is something that happens to us on a daily basis. When demand is greater than supply, price is going to appreciate. Yes, price is going to move higher. And then when the supply is greater than the demand, then the price is going to drop. It's going to fall. So if you look at what happened right from the very beginning, right from the very start of this chart, you notice that price moved from here, from these lows to these highs. Now, we said something now, when demand is greater than supply, price is going to push higher. And that pushing higher means that the buyers are the ones that did that. As the buyers are the ones that did that from this point here, let's put a line across like this. So this here is an area of support. Yes, so now we have gotten our first support over here. This is an area of support. And as we have this as an area of support, let's put an S there. Let's put an S there to represent our support. So here, put an S here, an area of support. And then we said that the resistance is what? Is when we have supply greater than demand. I can see the price came down from here. So as the price came down back to the area of support, we can say that this height here, of course, now is our resistance. So we can put an arrow here, put an arrow over here to represent our resistance. So now we have the support and the resistance, and then we're following price action. We're following what the price did. Now price came back to the support area here, and of course you would expect buyers to jump in, even though we had this false breakout, we had this long tail that broke out. It still closed inside the support area. Now price tried to push higher. It tried to push higher back to the resistance, but it only got about halfway and then did what? It now went back down to support and then eventually broke out. Now, as price tends to break out of a level, the other side now becomes the opposite. So that means that if here is support, here will now be the resistance. Yes, here will now be the resistance. And then this simply means that the flow of the market is now pointing to the downside, and you are interested in what? You are interested in selling, and then you are supposed to be selling at the area of resistance. Now look at what happened. Price now pushed higher. As it pushed higher from this point here, where the price said to push higher, we can simply call this what? We can call this the support, right? We'll call this here the support area. Can you see how we're picking the support, the resistance from the flow, from the price action? The price action has to do with the price movement, has to do with the price direction, has to do with the price trend. So look at what happened. You are now more interested in selling, and then you are supposed to be selling at the area of resistance. And of course, price came back to resistance here, and then one would have gotten a trade here to sell, and then the price went back to the support and then did what? It broke out of that support. As it broke out of the support, don't forget the other side has now turned to resistance. Automatically, when price breaks a level, the other side becomes the opposite. Now from here, Look at what happened. Price tried to push higher. As it tried to push higher back to the resistance, it just got to this point here. So we can easily call this area an area of what? Yes, you got it, an area of support. Great. Now I can see that you are understanding this better. Great. We are following the price action, using the supply and demand to draw our support and resistance areas. Look at what happened. Price tried to, but then the buyers, it was showing that buyers were getting weak as it came back to test the support. It tried again to lift off. It was getting weaker and weaker. As you can now see, price was now moving sideways, showing that the buyers are really struggling. As the buyers were struggling, what now happened? Of course, the sellers came in, and then they came in full force, took it back to the support, and then broke out again. Beautiful. Now you are understanding much better how to draw this support and how to draw the resistance areas, and of course what to expect after. Now after, you would have loved to have sold here as the resistance, but the price never got there. It got this far and then started to do this movement again, started to show signs of stress. Even up to here, it showed a final and big push trying to get to the resistance, but the sellers were not having it. They were showing that much dominance, and then that means that this area here is an area of what? This is an area of support. And in this area of support here, if you look very well, it was disgraced. When we say disgraced, because you can see that it kept on messing with that area, right? It's called an area or a zone or a level and not a point, right? We are using this horizontal lines to represent the area, right? That means that we could have price breach that area, but then look at what happened after this final push higher, trying to get to this area of resistance, where I know for a fact that we had a lot of sellers. You know, this here, from what the price is doing here, this is clearly a ranging market. As you can see, price moving sideways. This is clearly a ranging market, just like we had over here as well. And then the price has come down to this area. Now it came down and broke out. As it broke out, this other side has now turned to what? Has now turned to resistance. And then look at what happened from here. It came back to now test that resistance once, came to drop, and now testing the resistance again, and then seems to be dropping. Don't be surprised when it comes down to this area here. When it comes down to this area here, that is now acting as what? As support. And then of course the story continues, as this price action is telling us that it's a bearish market. We should only be looking for opportunities to sell based on the fact that you want to be following the trend. Yes, based on the fact that you want to be following the trend. Now you can see how, in conclusion, we have been able to show you the proper way to draw the support and resistance using what? Using the price action first of all, because the cleaner the chart, the better, using the price action, and then using the forces of supply and demand to determine where the support and resistance are, right? Once again, the forces of supply and demand is very important. And of course, that's basically what moves the market. Demand is greater than supply, the price is going to go up, right? And when it's going up, you know, it's going up from an area of support. The buyers are the ones doing that. And then when the price does what? When the supply is greater than the demand, the price is going to go down, and then the sellers are the ones doing that. So if you can pick as many charts as possible, do these findings, do these drawings, and then you should get better at it. And of course, if you have any questions whatsoever, do not hesitate to reach out, and then we'll look at it together. As a matter of fact, do your own support and resistance drawings, as we have done this. Watch this video a couple of times, do your own findings, bring up your own charts, and then post them. Put links of what you have done in the comment section. Let's have a look. Let's help you to get better at drawing the support and resistance. And of course, if this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up, and of course hit the subscribe button. It's definitely going to help me to grow. It's going to help the algorithm, and of course it will help me to produce more and more educational videos on Forex market. Thank you. It has indeed been a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your day. and catch you next time. Goodbye.